It's 19 minutes after 3 o'clock on a Friday afternoon, and many of you are probably already onto your weekend and thinking about how you're going to be spending it. And if you live in Cape Town, chances are you're going to be spending some of the weekend on Table Mountain, as many of us love to do. Unfortunately, this is an evergreen issue for us here at CapeTalk. We talk about it over and over. Safety on our mountain is once again in the spotlight, with SANParks releasing a press release today saying they've launched a new safety initiative with SAPS and the Camps Bay CID. To chat about this further, I'm delighted to say a very good afternoon to Andy Davies, chairperson of Friends of Table Mountain, and he's joining us by Zoom. Andy, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Amy. Thanks very much for having me.
Why has SANParks launched this most recent safety initiative? Have things
On your show?
Andy, sorry, we seem to have a bit of a delay. Let me try again. Why has SANParks launched this new initiative? Has there been another recent spike in crime?
Yeah, unfortunately, we've seen quite a big spike in crime around Signal Hill, Lions Head, and we're busy tracking those stats at the moment. So there's definitely been an increase there.
And what does the new safety campaign aim to do? I mean, what is it practically going to be doing on the ground to help combat crime?
Well, SANParks very rarely share their operational plans with the public, which we can understand. But from what I understood from the press release is they're going to increase patrols and then obviously try and target some of the potentially serial muggers that are operating in the area.
Andy, this, as I mentioned in the intro, is not a new issue. This is something we talk about certainly just about every single time I stand in. We're talking about a safety on the mountain issue. And something that keeps coming up again and again from listeners is, why aren't we using drones to implement safety, or aid safety rather, on the mountain?
Yeah, look, I definitely think there's a place for drones to operate in certain circumstances. But I mean, we must remember it's a national park, and people don't want to be harassed by drones. I mean, can you imagine walking up the mountain and you've got a drone following you around? Also, I mean, drones do have a limited flight time, so you can't have them up in the air all the time. So I think if there's a specific incident, there is definitely a case for using a drone, but I think we mustn't underestimate the value of boots on the ground. I mean, I think the city have done really well with some of their smaller nature reserves, where they've actually employed contract security rangers who've done really, really good work in consistently patrolling those areas and keeping sort of land invasion, vagrants, litter, and crime down in those areas. So I think the city has got a good working model for their small urban parks.
Okay, so you talk about what the city is doing. What can the members of the public do to help and to keep themselves safe, Andy?
Look, if you do see any suspicious activity, I think it's important to report it to the city control room, which is 021 480 7700. That's the city control room, and I know that even the SANParks toll-free number goes through there. Look, we want everybody to enjoy the mountain. It's a beautiful mountain. We're very blessed to have the mountain. So the only thing that we can recommend is try and stay clear of the hotspots. And if you do want to go walking, just go in fairly big groups and just be aware of your surroundings.
Do you think that tourists are informed enough when they come to visit Cape Town about the dangers of potentially exploring the mountain on their own?
Yeah, I don't think they were very well educated. And I mean, the thing is, you also don't want to put them off, coming to Cape Town and going up the mountain. So there's a delicate balance between making them aware of the safety issues. I mean, I can use an example. I was on Signal Hill a couple of years back, and there was a tourist who's gone for a run, and he had absolutely no idea that Signal Hill was a crime hotspot. And I think it's often the case. So I think it is important that hotels do sensitize their guests, when they see them going out onto the mountain, that they must just be careful about crime issues. But I mean, it is an urban park. It is part of the city, so people must always be careful.
Andy, I want to just read a WhatsApp that's come in from a listener. It says, "Hi, Amy, there's also a spike in the area around Rhodes Memorial with the escape route down into the Woodstock area. Not sure why the potential escape hotspots aren't more closely monitored." Do you know anything about that, Andy?
Yeah, look, the Blockhouse Rhodes Memorial area is a traditional hotspot, and we see a lot of cases. I know there've been a couple of mountain bikes stolen there, there must be better solutions to this. That is quite a big area, but we need to see more resources applied to this problem. We need to see like fences repaired, good cameras installed. And obviously, like I said before, boots on the ground. You can have drones and cameras, but if you see something happen, you still need to react to it. You need to have boots on the ground to react to suspicious activity or actual crime. And we've always said that we don't believe that SANParks has enough resources to manage the whole park. I mean, if we apply all the resources to Signal Hill, that means that there are not going to be enough resources at the Blockhouse or Red Hill or Newlands Forest. So we need to see more resources from SANParks applied to Table Mountain National Park.
Andy, in an ideal world, what would it look like for you? Who would be the additional resources that would come in and save the day?
In an ideal world, to be quite honest with you, I think we must seriously think about the city managing the park. The city has the most to lose when there's crime, because our businesses feel the impact of crime on the mountain in terms of tourism, and in terms of accountability. We have the city right here on the doorstep, where SANParks head office is in Pretoria, and they don't really feel the pain in Pretoria.
Mm. Are you, as the Friends of Table Mountain, participating in the latest safety initiative that SANParks has embarked on?
No, we are not actively participating in any security initiatives. There are a number of volunteer groups. The only thing we do is we track stats, and we focus mostly on advocacy from a security and safety point of view.
Okay, Andy, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. That is Andy Davies, chairperson of Friends of Table Mountain.